You probably clicked on this video because the thumbnail caught your eye. Fair. But hang on. Don't skip. Don't scroll. Watch this all the way through, and I promise you, by the time we hit the 1-minute mark, your entire view on women and love is going to flip. Because what if I told you that almost everything you've ever believed about love is a lie? You've been raised to think women want the nice guy, the rich guy, or the one who looks like he walked out of a magazine cover, but that's not how it works. Not really. Women don't fall for your face, your wallet, or even your sweet personality. Those things might help, sure, but they're not what makes her heart race. What actually gets her hooked goes way deeper, something primal, psychological, hardwired into how attraction works. And if you don't get that part, love will always feel like this weird puzzle that never quite fits together. But stick around, because once this video's done, you won't just understand how women really think. You'll know how to tap into something so real, so powerful, that she'll feel it in her gut. You won't be forgettable. You'll be the guy who left a mark. Also, before we keep going, I've got something special in this video just for you. It breaks down the hidden triggers that make women crave a man on a whole different level. It's wild. All right, let's get into it. Sign 1. Women do not love you. They love the way you make them feel. Here is something that most men will never really get, no matter how many relationships they go through. Women do not fall in love with you. Not your face, not your job, not even your sparkling 5-star personality. What they actually fall in love with is the way you make them feel. It sounds simple, but it changes everything. Love, for a woman, is not a checklist of logical reasons or a set of facts she can explain. It is emotional. It is chaotic. It is a vibe, a rush, a roller coaster she wants to keep riding long after the thrill should have worn off. You could be the best-looking guy in the room, have money, dress like a movie star, and smell like a damn cologne commercial. But if she does not feel something real when she's around you, you are getting filed in her mental trash bin by the time she gets home. Psychologists actually have a term for this: emotional imprinting. It is the reason why a woman can meet 2 guys in the same afternoon, one who checks every box and says all the right things, and another who jokes with her, challenges her, makes her laugh so hard she forgets where she is. And guess which guy she ends up thinking about all night? Spoiler alert, it is not the safe, logical one. And yeah, it is frustrating. You might be more stable, more loyal, a better long-term bet. But if you do not make her feel something, she will choose the guy who does, even if he is the total opposite of what she says she wants. That is where most dudes completely drop the ball. They try to win her over by listing accomplishments, showing off, or giving her reasons to pick them. But that is not what makes her stay up late thinking about you. The men, women lose their minds over, the ones they chase, obsess over, keep going back to, they are the ones who create emotional chaos. They make her feel everything: excitement, confusion, comfort, thrill, tension. It is the emotional high she gets addicted to. Ever wonder why she keeps texting that ex she swore she was done with? It is not because he is some amazing person. It is because, even if it was messy, he made her feel. He left a mark. He created moments she still replays in her head. So, yeah, she might block him during the day, but she is probably still dreaming about him at night. Sign 2. The more you chase, the less she feels. Let me hit you with something real. Have you ever sent a text and then just sat there, waiting, watching the clock, overthinking every minute that passes, wondering if she's slowly drifting away? Now flip that script. Think about someone who was always available to you, someone who replied in seconds, someone who never said no, never challenged you, always agreed. Be honest. How did that feel? Exciting or kind of boring? The truth is, women are built to feel anticipation. They respond to emotional tension. When a guy is too available, always texting first, always showing up, always chasing, he kills the tension. And without tension, there is no spark. That feeling of what if is what keeps the attraction alive. Once a woman feels like she fully has you, her brain hits cruise control. And when her brain chills out, so does the chemistry. Here's the cold, hard truth. Chasing ruins your chances. You think you're winning her over, but what you're really doing is making yourself too easy. And people don't chase what they already have. We value what feels just out of reach, not what's handed to us with no effort. That's why men who know their worth do not chase. They lead. They do not beg for attention. They let her come to them. And when she does, they do not spill everything at once. They stay a little mysterious. They keep her guessing. Because the second she stops wondering about you, she starts forgetting you. Sign 3. Women don't actually want a nice guy. They want a man who can't be shaken. Let's talk about the nice guy epidemic for a second. You've seen it. Guys who think being nice means doing whatever she says, never disagreeing, always being available, and basically shrinking themselves to avoid any kind of conflict. They hear women say they want a nice guy and take it literally, thinking the secret to attraction is being agreeable to the point of invisibility. But here's the truth. Women don't want a doormat. They don't want someone who's soft on everything just to keep the peace. What they're actually drawn to is a man who's kind, yes, but not weak. There's a big difference. You can be caring without being a pushover. You can be understanding without letting people walk all over you. What women really crave is emotional strength, the kind that doesn't crack when life gets messy. Ask yourself this: would you respect someone who never stands up for themselves? Someone who avoids every hard conversation just to keep you happy? Probably not. That's because leadership, confidence, and resilience are magnetic. A man who stays grounded in who he is, who doesn't need constant validation, who isn't afraid to walk away if the situation calls for it, that's the kind of man people trust. That's the kind of man women gravitate toward. And yeah, she's going to test you. That's not toxic. It's human. She wants to see what you're made of. She wants to feel safe knowing that if life throws chaos your way, you won't lose yourself in it. That's why Stoic men who keep their composure, who don't overreact, who know who they are, stand out. Because at the end of the day, she doesn't want another emotional support buddy. She doesn't want a people pleaser. She wants someone who can hold his ground even when everything else is shaking. Sign 4. Love is built on perception, not reality. Let's get real for a second. Love is not nearly as logical as people like to think. One of the biggest myths we all buy into is that people fall in love based on facts. Who you are, what you do, how you treat them. But the truth? Love is not about reality. It is about perception. What someone feels for you is not grounded in the actual version of you. It is grounded in the version they created in their head. This is something psychologists call cognitive projection. It is when people unknowingly project their own emotions, desires, and expectations onto someone else. So when a woman falls for you, she's not falling for the real, everyday version of you. She is falling for the image she has painted of you. An image filtered through her past experiences, her wounds, her fantasies, and everything her subconscious believes to be true about love. That is why it can feel like she loves you deeply 1 minute and becomes cold the next. You did not change. Her perception of you did. And perception, more than anything, is what defines how people feel. Think about the way a woman talks about a guy she is head over heels for. She will say stuff like, "There's just something about him. He's so mysterious. He gets me." But put that same guy in a different frame. Make him too available, too eager, too predictable, and her tune changes fast. Suddenly she is saying, "He's nice, but kind of boring. I feel like we're not on the same page anymore." The guy did not become boring. The story around him shifted. The thing is, women do not respond to facts or logic when it comes to love. They respond to the narrative they have built, and this is where most guys mess up. They let the woman's perception form on its own. They do not guide it. They do not influence how she sees them. Instead, they just show up and hope their actions will speak for themselves. But here is the catch. Once she puts you in the mental box of safe or predictable, the emotional spark starts to die. She stops feeling drawn to you, not because you did anything wrong, but because her mind stopped engaging with the version of you that once excited her. So how do you control that perception? It is not about being fake. It is about creating emotional contrast. People crave novelty and unpredictability. If she always knows what you're going to say or do, there is nothing left to explore. Mystery keeps her curious, and curiosity keeps her emotionally invested. Highs and lows, within reason, build stronger attachment than flat consistency. If a woman only ever feels comfort with you, you start to blend into the background. You become static, predictable, easy to tune out. Scarcity plays a role too. If you are constantly available, always texting, always chasing, your presence becomes expected, not appreciated. But when your time feels earned, when she has to wonder what you are up to, when she has to wait a little, she values your attention more. You become someone worth thinking about. At the end of the day, women do not stay with the most logical choice. They stay with the one that keeps their mind active, that keeps the story alive. If you can shape how she perceives you, you can shape how she experiences love with you. And when you understand that love is more about perception than reality, you stop playing defense and start taking control of the narrative. Sign 5. If she feels safe, she will never leave you. After everything we've talked about, the emotional highs, the sense of mystery, and the way she perceives you, there's one deeper truth about love that overrides it all. A woman does not stay with a man just because she loves him. She stays because she feels safe. And no, I'm not just talking about physical safety, though of course that matters. I mean emotional safety, the kind of unspoken certainty that tells her deep down that with you, she's protected, not just from the outside world, but from the chaos that sometimes lives in her own mind and heart. Here's the thing, women are naturally more emotionally fluid than men. Their feelings shift like waves. One day they're all in, the next day they might seem distant or unsure. This isn't a game they're playing, and it's not manipulation. It's just how their emotional wiring works. Their brains process emotion in a more dynamic, ever-changing way. And because of that constant movement, the one thing she craves more than anything is emotional stability. A man who's unshakable when everything else feels like it's spinning. That's where Stoicism actually matters. Most guys think being emotionally strong means shutting down, going cold, or acting like nothing touches them. But that's not strength, that's avoidance. Real strength is consistency. It's calm, it's presence. A woman feels safe with a man who doesn't crumble under pressure, who doesn't react impulsively when things get messy, and who doesn't let her emotions pull him out of his center. Think about the men women have obsessed over in history, not just the famous ones, but the ones who linger in a woman's mind for years. They weren't just handsome or rich. They had that presence, that quiet, steady energy that made a woman feel like no matter what was going on, they were in control. That's what makes a woman stay. That's what makes her loyal, even when she's falling apart. Now here's where most guys mess it all up. When a woman gets emotional, they either jump in to fix her feelings, which makes her feel dismissed, or they get emotional too, which makes her feel like now she has to take care of your emotions instead of dealing with her own. Both kill attraction. The move is simple. Stay calm, stay grounded. Don't panic, don't argue, don't try to fix her. Just be there. Let her feel what she's feeling without letting it shake you. That doesn't mean you let her walk all over you. It means you show her, through your presence, that even when everything around her is chaos, you are not. You're the one steady, solid place in her world. And when she feels that, when she knows she can be a complete emotional mess and you're still right there, calm and collected, that's when she locks in. That's when she looks at you and thinks, I'll never find this again. She won't just love you, she'll cling to you. Because deep down, every woman wants to feel like no matter what she's going through, she's safe with you in a way she's never felt with anyone else. This is what separates the guys she dates from the man she stays with. Emotional safety isn't just a bonus, it's the foundation. Get that part right, and she won't just stay. She'll never even think about leaving. This is Stoic University. If this hit home, go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the real game-changing stuff. Stay calm, stay solid, and let the world come to you.